Well, something you guys should know about me is that I'm a stay-at-home dad. I don't go to work. I don't leave the house to go to work, I should say. I spend most of my time doing what has traditionally been what I grew up with, was a stay-at-home mom. But that's what I do. I'm a stay-at-home dad. I take care of the kids. I prep dinners. I do laundry and dishes and all that good stuff. I've been doing this for several years, and it's still not super cool. Probably the biggest problem I've had with being a stay-at-home dad is other people. Like staying at home, doing the dishes, doing the laundry, making dinners, getting people up ready for school, being the school bus, all of that stuff involved with raising a family and being the one who has to do all the domestic stuff. Not really a problem. Hasn't ever been an issue. The issue has been with other people. When I first started, there's a bit of a stigma involved, like, oh, people, dads don't stay home because they go earn money. But that's not the way we did it at our house. So, if my wife had stayed home, there wouldn't have been any issues. But we decided to do it this way, and that's the way it's been. The biggest issue's been with other people, just kind of that stigma, that traditional mom stays home, dad goes to work type deal. And that's been the issue for the most part with that. Another issue for me has been stress relief. Like, stay-at-home moms have other stay-at-home moms they can get in touch with. But there's more stay-at-home dads now than there used to be. But when I first started, I didn't know anybody was a stay-at-home dad. No one was a stay-at-home dad. So it could be very frustrating to relate to people. Like, I get one of the things when I get out in public, like all I wanted to do was talk adult stuff. I just wanted to, talk in adult ways. And unfortunately, my conversations were pretty much limited to childcare. That's not a party hit at all. But over time, I've been able to cope and manage and deal with all the stuff that goes on, and it's not a big deal to me that ain't much anymore. I don't really care for the most part. All that's gone, and I still have another 5 years basically to deal with being a stay-at-home dad, because our youngest one is only is 9 months old. So, I'm in for another 5 years basically, and that's okay. And especially since I found motorcycling, I have another outlet that I get out and I ride on days like today and just have a good time, ripping it up, getting speeding tickets and running stop signs and all that good stuff. But so it's a bit trying at times because of just the things that go on, things that happen. It's frustrating. Kids don't behave, and it's hard to not take it personal when kids defy you, but really it's not personal. It's just they want their way and you don't want them to have their way, or whatever. Sometimes you just want 10 minutes alone in the bathroom so you can catch up on Facebook while you poop. The kids don't understand that. They don't understand. But I don't think I would trade it at all. I get along better with my kids than probably I would coworkers for the most part. At least if I have a problem with my kids, I can give them hugs. I can hug them, tell them I love them. Can't do that with the guy in the next cubicle. So there's that. One of the things though I've done, we always do, like trips in the car have always been kind of stressful. That's probably the biggest stress for me is cars, because my kids, they all want to sit in a seat. They always want to, everybody wants to sit in the middle row or the window seat or something. There's always some issue with where we're sitting in the car. So we've done a lot of things like, okay, you guys ride here on the way there, you guys ride here on the way back, or these are your assigned seats for the month, whatever. We've done a lot of things, but that's usually the most stressful thing, is just getting in the car going somewhere. And in order to especially on long trips, in order to alleviate some of that stress, we play games like anybody, the license plates and stuff like that. But some of the games we've played have really stuck with us, even on short trips. One of the games we play is let's see. Well, there's 3 games that we play right now, and they're just basically the same game, but with different objectives. One of the games we play is Corvette. So whenever we see a Corvette somewhere, we'll say Corvette. And the reason we went with that one is because it's a car that's common enough that you could probably see one on each trip, but not common enough like a Mustang where you get tired of it. A Mustang or Camaro, like there's a Mustang there. I've seen a couple of those already. Or even the Mini Cooper, those are pretty common. And another variation of that game is motorcycle. And that's really, I read about this online, it's like to get your kids alert to motorcycles, have them see motorcycles at a young age. So when you're driving, I'll be driving and I'll hear motorcycle. I'm like, where's the motorcycle? And they'll say, oh, it's back there. And that's just mainly to get them to see other two-wheeled vehicles while we're driving, so that way when they are driving later on, they'll be aware of it and they'll know, hey, these motorcycles, they need to be seen. Block the traffic, boy. You know what? I needed to get gas. So yeah, there's Corvette, there's a motorcycle, and then one that we haven't really played much lately is Porta Potty, and a lot of that is because it's been there's been a lot of construction going on, and those are like on the highways, in the neighborhoods, there's Porta Potties all over the place. So we've kind of laid off of Porta Potty for the most part. But yeah, it's basically the same game with 3 different flavors. And that helps out, it keeps kids looking out the windows and keeps me relatively stress-free. And we don't play the license plate too much because we're in the middle of Texas. Most of the license plates are Texas. Plus, and was it the alphabet game where you start with a letter and then you take the last letter, like say San Marcos, you take the S, you look for another S word, and you see, stop. And you take it to P, and you look for a P word. But we don't really do that because of the ages of our kids. There were some kids who could read and some that couldn't, so that wasn't very fun. So you'd have like 3 kids that could play and 2 kids that can't. Oh yeah, there's a little nugget for you. I have a lot of kids. My wife and I have 5 together, and our niece lives with us. She's a senior this year, so if you weren't privy to that knowledge, there you go. There's that knowledge. But we make it happen. That's part of what makes being a stay-at-home dad kind of challenging. I don't have just one kid. I have multiples, and it's all different. It's all different strategies involved. Some of them are pretty high-strung. Some of them are real laid back. Some of them are passive-aggressive. It's all different. Kids are different. So yeah, that's stay-at-home dad. It's a little stressful at times, and I do have to have an outlet. I used to do comedy, and then I stopped doing that, and now I ride motorcycles. I do moto vlogs, so that's my outlet now. That's what I enjoy. Look at this guy slap on the butt. So that's what I do. That's what I enjoy. Stay-at-home dad.